And now, Mike's thoughts.
The drama, the saga, the whatever you want to call it of The Blind Side is coming to a head right now. This story is kind of like WTF, mate. This story is kind of like, what in the world is going on? So if you guys do not know, The Blind Side is the story of Michael Orr, right? He is a former Baltimore Ravens offensive lineman. I think he played for the Titans as well. But basically, what the movie story tries to portray is this guy basically homeless, has never played a sport a day in his life, just has a bunch of natural abilities, and then the Tuohys bring him in, and he's a protector of the family. Like, hey, you need to play some football, you need to play some offensive lineman, you need to do this, and they teach him how to play, and basically it's like a success story. Honestly, it's a really, really good movie. It's like I watch it at least twice a year. But with that being said, Michael Orr has said, hey, this story's not true. Nothing about this story is true. So now he is suing the Tuohys for punitive damages, whatever that word means. I don't know exactly what that means, but basically he says, this story lied to you. This is the real story. So bada bing, bada boom, we're going to figure this out. But it turns out that when Michael Orr was 18, the Tuohys wanted to, quote, adopt him and to sign this paperwork just to say, hey, we love you, but we want you a part of this family, yada, yada, yada. Turns out that was not adoption papers. It was Michael Orr signing off the rights to his story. Sold his rights to this story off to the Tuohys so they could make money off of it. Okay, awesome. You're making some money off of me. Cool. I don't mind, right? But guess what? He's not getting any royalties off of this whatsoever. So the Tuohys that are already millionaires, right? Now they're making money off of the back of this homeless guy, right? Guys, this story is going to be something to watch. This story is going to be must-see TV, and the course when it starts October 2nd is when the court case starts. I am kind of intrigued about this whole thing. I'm kind of intrigued to see what exactly is going to come out with this whole Blind Side thing. If you guys want to watch a good video, Flemmo Raps does a great video of it. He has two full, like an hour worth of video of it. If you want to sit down and really watch it, see what's really going on. You got to do what you got to do, man. But go ahead and cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs. You know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Bakasha here with the Man Hour Turtle Hood, manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page, or check out the blog section as well. And it is Tuesday, guys, right here, August 15th, Tuesday edition of Man Hour NFL Talk. They're truly the only place where you get live, raw, and really uncut NFL talk every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time, right here at Facebook.com. And, of course, YouTube.com. And as always, podcast form out there at Spotify and iHeartRadio as well. If you guys have not done so already, please comment on the stream. Let me know you're here. Share the stream as well. And comment below. This is a live interactive show. I see your comments. I see hundreds of thousands of comments each and every day. But these are all the comments that matter. Because my man David is in the chat. Dropping the fire emojis. What's up, David? Out there on the West Coast. 6 a.m. out there on the West Coast, guys. Thank you for joining us. David here. We got Katie Wilson in the chat. She says, good morning, Buck. Top of the morning to you there, Katie. Hope you had a grand old time over there in Central Missouri. Be safe out there. Chiefs Kingdom, rise up. Rise up, rise up, rise up. We got Hoffy in the chat as well. The man behind the Man Hour name right now. He says, good morning, Man Hour Nation. Rise up, baby. And this is where Hoffy gets off the rails all ready to start the show. He says, apparently those Taco Bells weren't doing so hot. What in the world is Hoffy talking about? Jeez. And he says, to be honest, I'm still drunk from last night. Hoffy, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Get your ass out of bed. It is no time to be hungover, man. It is Tuesday, week 2 of the NFL preseason is here, and it is indeed fact or crap Tuesday here. We are going to bust out a statement out there. We've been sprinkling the old interwebs, and we're going to decide if it's a fact or if it indeed is a crap. We are going to talk about Zeke Elliott to the New England Patriots. What? Dalvin Cook to the Jets. Running backs are getting signed left and right. Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Pederson says Trevor Lawrence is one of the greats. What? Russell Wilson and the Broncos are still a bust. And the Saints' Derek Carr showed out. Are we going to buy the Saints hype right now? Fact or crap on that? The Kansas City Chiefs pass rush looked horrible. Horrible. But hey, Chris Jones, stock up or stock down. Bada bing, bada boom. The Tuies own like 100 Taco Bells. Remember SJ selling Mikey, they can eat Taco Bell all they want. Yeah, that is right. I totally forgot about that was a part of the movie. They own like 1,000 restaurants, but whatever. We're past that. The Tuies were millionaires. They screwed this kid. Let's just be flat out honest about it. They screwed him. They said, bend over and stick it up your booty hole because we want some more money. We are greedy little bastards. But it is what it is. Sandra Bullock is still very, very hot. Still very, very hot. But guys, it is that time of the show where we always talk about some new news happening across the NFL landscape. It is preseason, so there are a lot of transitions. There's a lot of cuts. There's a lot of acquisitions. Not acquisitions, accusations. Like, we want this player to come to play for us. He's been cut over there, but we're going to bring him over there. If you guys want the full complete list, head over to manhourradio.com. I have been posting those up there as I can. But to keep up to the date, go to facebook.com/manhour NFL Talk, and that is where we do post all of the news as soon as we see it. Because I do have a script that says, Buck, this happened in the NFL. I was like, oh, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, and I put it out there. That's how it goes. But some new news. Arizona Cardinals tight end Zach Ertz has been cleared and is on track to start week 1 per the Arizona Cardinals coaching staff. Why is this big news and why is this new news? Well, if you guys do not remember, Kyler Murray is going to be out until at least week 10 of the 2023 NFL season. Colt McCoy is scheduled to be the starter. He is definitely making headway. He's 37 years old. He's definitely making some separation between a rookie and himself to become the starter for the next at least 10 weeks in Arizona. And the Arizona Cardinals looks not very good. Yes, they do have Rondell Moore. They have Hollywood Brown. They have James Carter on that roster. But a quarterback's best friend is one of the top tight ends in the league. So Zach Ertz, week 1 is great news for the Arizona Cardinals. Possibly they can measure out some 6 wins with this. I think Zach Ertz is that big a deal for the Arizona Cardinals. New news number 2. Atlanta Falcons running back B.J. Robinson, first-round pick, 10th overall, will play Friday versus the Cincinnati Bengals. This is more new news to me because I want to see if Benji Robertson. Wow, fuck that name. All types of up. I want to see if he is really up to the hype. Yes, I saw him in college, and he was a magnificent college athlete, right? Arguably one of the best running backs to come out of college in a very, very long time. But I want to see how his game translates to the NFL. I want to see this Atlanta Falcons offense. Are we going to buy into the hype? Are we going to be excited about that? We will be talking about more of that on Friday, but I'm actually really excited about this Cincinnati Bengals Falcons game in its week 2 preseason. Baltimore Ravens running back J.K. Robertson has been activated off the PUP list. Last season, he got that ACL injury, and he is finally back, and he is finally ready to make some noise for the Baltimore Ravens. Why is this important? Well, because Lamar Jackson needs a little bit of yin to his yang. They need a effective running game for that passing game to be effective. If Lamar Jackson wants to throw that 6,000 yards this season, J.K. Dobbins is going to need about 1,000 to 1,200 yards this season on the ground to balance it out. So this is great news if you are a Baltimore Ravens fan or a AFC North fan in general. Bengals quarterback Trevor Siemian, backup quarterback, will start Friday versus the Atlanta Falcons. Why is this a big deal? Well, this is a big deal because there's a quarterback 2 competition that is heating up in Cincinnati. Oh, Buck, it's just a quarterback 2 competition. Who really cares? Guys, Joe Burrow is hurt. Joe Burrow is out. There is no timeline for his return. A strained calf this early in the season, we don't want it to linger on. Jamar Chase said it the best. We don't want you back to you 100% healthy in week 5. So there is a quarterback competition for QB2 between Trevor Siemian, Jake Browning, and Reed Stennett. This is something to circle. This Cincinnati Bengals game and Atlanta Falcons game on Friday night, this has a lot of implication, guys. This is almost kind of must-watch TV. This is almost like a regular season Week 9, Week 10 game. Like, there's going to be a lot of eyes on this game to really see what these teams are going to do. And, you know, this is a battle that I want to watch. Dallas Cowboys guard Zach Martin agreed to a restructure of his contract for a $4 million raise over the next 2 years after holding out in camp. This is big because the Dallas Cowboys need that offensive line. The Dallas Cowboys need that offensive line to look great, and Zach Martin is the heart and soul of that thing, the offensive line. Final new news of the day here, guys. San Francisco 49ers tight end George Kittle will miss the rest of the week with the abductor injury. This is not good for the San Francisco 49ers because they are all in on Brock Purdy. They want Brock Purdy to do some work. They want Brock Purdy to be that guy. Brock Purdy needs George Kittle. If George Kittle missed an extended period of time during the regular season, I think Brock Purdy is up shit's creek. I think the 49ers without George Kittle is not a very good thing. I don't think they're going to be a very good team this year anyways. Previously, we will re-dissect that moving forward, but George Kittle will miss the rest of the week in practice. So hopefully he can figure things out, get things lined up, get that abductor all nice and healed, because when Brock Purdy overthrows him a lot, he is going to have to reach for it. My man's going to have to get healthy. 49er fans, you guys better be wishing on a shooting star tonight because George Kittle you guys need some George Kittle. Guys, that is it for some new news out there today. I always want to say tonight, but big news is coming, guys. Starting next week, the after show is back. Next, right, August 21st, the after show is officially back. So we can be live, interactive, have ourselves a couple drinks, sit back, relax, and I'm going to literally open up the show to anybody that wants to join. We will be posting out links on our Facebook page, on our Twitter, and if you want to join with us, talk some and have some fun, interact, talk some NFL on air, you click that link. I'll bring you on, and bada bing, bada boom, we can have a civilized, keyword there, civilized conversation. If the conversation goes south, I kick you out because I'm the boss. I do what I want, when I want, how I want. But after our show starting next week, August 21st, 10 p.m. East Coast time, and yeah, pretty excited about that. But guys, it is time to get into Fact or Crap Tuesday edition here, right here on manhourradio.com. Facebook.com/manhour. Of course, YouTube.com/manhour. If you guys are not following or subscribed to those pages yet, please do so. And also share this live feed with a couple of friends because sharing is caring at the end of the day. But if you are new here and you don't know what Fact or Crap is, let me sit back and tell you what Fact or Crap is all about. It is very simple. It is very cut and dry. We've been sprinkling the old interwebs with some thoughts, with some images, and a little bit of trollness under the bridge. But we simply put out a statement. We let you guys battle back and forth in the comments, and then I come on air like the next day, and I say if it is really a fact or a crap. Now, this is totally my opinion. Your opinions are warranted, so jump in the chat if you want to, tell me if it's a fact or crap on your side of things. Let me know. I'll bring it up on the chat, just like we brought up Katie's chat right there. Bada bing, bada boom. She says good morning, and I'll bring it up, and we will dive into that conversation. So, fact or crap, number one of the day here, and we are going to go out to the East Coast, the AFC East. Boy, did they get a lot better over the last 12 hours. But Zeke Elliott and the New England Patriots have worked out a deal. A 1-year, $6 million deal for Zeke Elliott and the New England Patriots. So as we look around the AFC East, it is a very pass-happy division right now. Let's just be honest about it. The Patriots are kind of the old school. I'm going to run it down your throat. When with defense and the rest of the team's like, hey, we're going to pass it on. We got to keep up with Burrow and Mahomes and whatever, right? So fact or crap, guys, Zeke Elliott to the New England Patriots makes them favorites in the AFC East. Right now, when we look at the AFC East, I don't think the addition of Zeke Elliott really moves the needle in the favor of the New England Patriots. Yes, he will be a good third down back, but my man Hoffy said it best a couple weeks ago, right? The Patriots still have a running back by the name of Stevenson. Stevenson is going to be the guy. Stevenson is going to get the bulk of your carries. Zeke is going to be there probably simply for like a third down back, maybe some short yardage plays, maybe a little bit of, swing plays. Zach is a really good pass protecting running back. So maybe in the pass happy Bill O'Brien offense, when it is passing downs, third and long, Zeke comes in there and protects Mac Jones type of thing. But factor crap, the additional of Zeke Elliott to the Patriots moves the needle and makes them favorite in the AFC East. That is 100% crap. Zeke Elliott is a really good running back. Zeke Elliott is a good signing for anybody but the New England Patriots. The reason why I say that is because Zeke Elliott is a type of running back that has to have a volume amount of carries to really get into the groove of the game. Why did Zeke kind of not perform as well the last two seasons for the Dallas Cowboys? Because he was splitting carries with Tony Pollard. Now, Tony Pollard is a very good running back. Don't get it twisted. But there are certain players that just need a volume of shots, that need a volume of carries to kind of get into the groove of the game, right? You look at, I don't know, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, when he only rushes for 6 or 7 times in a game, you're only going to see him get about 50, 60 yards, right? Now, if you give the ball to him 20-plus times a game, you're looking at 150, 160 yards. Zeke Elliott is that type of player. He has to get in the groove of the game. He has to get hit. You know, like just like me, like your nerves are going crazy before the game, but once you get hit a couple times, like it is what it is, right? Zeke needs the volume of carries, and the New England Patriots have never been a one feature back type of guy, right? This year they have 3 running backs that they could use a lot. They still have Ty Montgomery that they picked up this offseason. Stevenson will be running back 1. He will be good things over there. And then they have Zeke. You have 3 guys splitting 20 carries in in a game. This is crap. This was a bad signing by the Patriots. Zeke got his money, got $6 million, right? But it would be like, oh, Zeke's over the hill because he's only gotten like 100 touches for 200 yards or whatever. It just this is crap all the way around. This is bad, and Hoffy agrees as New England Patriots fan. This is not good look for the New England Patriots. This is not good look for Zeke. And can I say this? Let me think about it. Let me collect my thoughts and make sure like I'm not going to be spewing something I want to regret. I lie. I don't ever regret anything. I say what I want because it's live, raw, uncut NFL talk. But I think the signing of Zeke Elliott to the Patriots actually lets them take a couple steps back. I think they got worse by this signing. Worse. Statman says 3.8 yards per carry, $6 million. I'd rather 8 and have Cook. Zeke will be good in pass blocking game. That is where his value will be, but not $6 million a year. So, Hoffy, I think we are on the same page. I think we are kind of on the same wavelength here. But hear me out. Let me be devil's advocate here. What if Bill Belichick does give the reins to Bill O'Brien? What if Bill O'Brien does run a 31 personnel all the time? What if the New England Patriots become an 80-20 pass team? What if Zeke Elliott is there because they're going to start throwing the ball all over the field? I don't know. I'm just being devil's advocate. What if? That is my main man Wayne G's favorite word is if. What if? What if? What if the grass is blue and we just see green? What if? But yes, 3.8 yards a carry for $6 million. I'd rather have Cook. Well, guess what? Delvin Cook is no longer on the market either. Delvin Cook is no longer a free agent either. Delvin Cook took his time, collected his thoughts, and he says, you know what, New York? Let me join the rest of the NFC North and go over to the AFC West, or sorry, the AFC East and join the New York Jets. Delvin Cook signed with the New York Jets for a 1-year, $8.6 million deal. But hours before this signing happened, many of the Jets running backs, mainly Michael Carter, was saying, hey, we are pretty good without Delvin Cook. That is just all talk. Delvin Cook isn't here. The people in the locker room right here are really, really good, and we're doing good things in the running back realm. A couple hours later, bada bing, bada boom, Delvin Cook is signed. So fact or crap, Dalvin Cook makes the New York Football Jets better and AFC East contenders. I think Dalvin Cook has a lot left in the tank. I think he's 27 years old. Him and Zeke might be like neck and neck as far as age range goes, but Zeke has a lot more wear and tear on his body than Dalvin Cook. When we look at the Jets running back room right now, we have Breece Hall coming off of a ACL injury. He has just been activated off the PUP list as of today. I think it was this morning that they officially activated him off the PUP list. They have Michael Carter, great in Madden, real life, not so much. And now they have Dalvin Cook. When you look at the Jets running back room right now, there is a reason why Michael Carter was saying, we are fine, we don't need Zeke, we're pretty good without him. Yes, they did look pretty good in preseason matchup versus the Carolina Panthers. They did. But the reason why they're saying that is because there's going to be an odd man out. And I think Michael Carter is going to be that odd man out. So factor crap, does Dalvin Cook make the Jets AFC East contenders? No. That is a crap. That is a crap because of the simple fact that look at the rest of the East. The East is arguably the strongest division out there. Stronger than the North, stronger than the West. The East is the most wide open and the most competitive division in football. However, the Jets are still only a 7-8 win team. Now, this is from my predictions from back in June, right? We'll be breaking it down again next week on the after show, yada, yada, yada. But with that being said, this is a crap. This is a crap because Dalvin Cook is probably not going to be the featured back in New York. We just talked about a three-headed monster in New England. We could potentially be talking about a three-headed monster in New York as well. Also, Aaron Rodgers throws the ball all over the field. Now, I do not have the stats of Dalvin Cook's pass-catching abilities, but if you are splitting carries with Breece Hall, you're throwing the ball 80% of the time, what are the likelihoods that Dalvin Cook is going to get in the flow of the game, rush for 100 yards, rush for 1,000 yards this season? It is slim to none. I have been deemed a Jets hater. I have been deemed this Jets, the wheels are falling off, nothing's great. I do like the signing of Dalvin Cook. I love me some Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook to the Jets does make very good sense if he was the featured running back, if he was the guy. But he does not make the Jets from a fourth-place team to a first-place team. He will give them an extra win or two. So you go from 7 wins to 8 wins. Great. But that does not compete with the Miami Dolphins with their 12-win season. It is a crap. It is a crap. It is crap. It is crap. And people in the chat, Arthur Brown is in the chat. He says fact. Fact on that matter. He says fact. Dalvin Cook puts the Jets in first place. Fact, 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 he says. He said it several times. Fact, fact. What? This is coming from a Miami Dolphins fans, guys. So if he says fact, it has to be a fact. It has to be a fact. Statman back there behind the camera, he says fact. That defensive line and depth they have are going to potentially be a top 5 defense. Listen, the Jets are a good team. They have a lot of young pieces in place. They have a nice coach. They have a nice young nucleus with Sauce Gardner and the Beckham from Louisville from a couple years ago. Garrett Wilson. They have some nice young pieces in place. However, the addition of Aaron Rodgers this season kind of puts them in a must-win now situation, puts them in a situation where we are going to do really, really well, or we're going to do really, really, really bad. But either way, it is going to set us up for failure in years to come. Hoffy, you are the man behind of what just said this. You said fact that defensive line and the depth they have are potentially going to be a top 5 defense. What depth are you referring to? Are you referring to the offensive line or sorry, the running back depth, or what kind of depth are you referring to, Hoffy?
The defensive line for the Jets, and we saw that in the preseason game. I know they're playing second, third, fourth strings, but every single one of their defensive linemen won every single battle that they were in.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, they do have very good depth. Arthur Brown wants to clarify here, and he says, "Fact, the Jets are better, but not a first place team." And then they got the sauce. Number one, get out of here with that crap. What is Sauce Gardner's real name? Like D'Angelo or something. Victor. something like so white. You're like, what? So you go from like Bob to Sauce? Like, come on, man.
Ahmad Gardner.
Oh, okay. Sauce it is.
He's Indian.
Yeah. Shh. You can't say that. But guys, yeah, so factor crap. Let me know in the comments here if the Jets will go from worst to first with the addition of Dalvin Cook. But Hoffy, since you are here, let's give this man, the myth, the legend, a nice round of applause. Hoffy, you got a Blue Devils athletic shirt on today, looking good. Man, nice clean shave with a nice goatee. Man, if I could look half as good as you are, we would have a great radio show.
It's my alma mater, Duke.
Duke, Jesus. I'm a Kentucky fan. I guess I don't have any Kentucky stuff here. My wife made me.
I'm just kidding. It's my high school team that I coach.
My wife made me be a Kentucky fan. But moving on. Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Pederson has compared Trevor Lawrence to some of the greats in the past. He says, and I quote, "He is just one of those guys." But he never put a name of one of those guys. So fact or crap, Trevor Lawrence is a top quarterback in the NFL. So when we look at Trevor Lawrence's career over the last, I think he's entering his 3rd year in the NFL. Me and Combs sat here on the show I said that if Urban Meyer is the coach for Trevor Lawrence moving forward past year 1, he will be a bust in the NFL. And everything added up that Trevor Lawrence was heading down a wrong path. Luckily for Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer decided to kick a kicker, and the kicker Cook took, he's like, whoa, man, don't disrespect me. And Urban Meyer got kicked out of town. And now arguably one of the 3rd or 4th greatest offensive minds in Doug Pederson is now in Jacksonville. Now, I am not buying the hype of Trevor Lawrence as of right now. I do think he is a good quarterback. I don't think he is going to be a bust anymore. I think he is going to have a nice, long Dan Marino type of year, or not year, but career. So when Doug Pederson says he is just one of those guys and compared them to great quarterbacks of the past, I read that article 5 times. I can never see him putting a name on it. So with that being said, I gotta go crap, because if you do not put a name of a guy you are comparing to of the past, right? Are you comparing him to John Elway that led the Broncos to back-to-back Super Bowls? Or are you going to compare him to Dan Marino that led the Miami Dolphins to a Super Bowl, but then could never get back to the playoffs ever again. Great stats, great career on the numbers wise, but just could never get over that hump, right? So this is a crap. I do not think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a top quarterback in the NFL. The NFL right now is just so loaded with quarterbacks, and I'm not trying to knock the guy by any means, but to be a top quarterback, you have to be in the top 10, and his peers alone put him at number 14, Hoffy, and I have to tend to agree that I think 14 is right where he is in middle of the road quarterback, middle of the road pack. That's no knock on him because everything is so top heavy with Tua, Hurts, and Dak, and Mahomes, and Burrow. Will Trevor Lawrence ever be a top quarterback?
I mean, his rookie season, he had 12 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Flipped the script his sophomore year, 25-8. Peterson probably had a lot to do with that, having a full year under the belt with, working together. His completion percentage was 66%. So right now, like you said, I don't think we could say yes, it's definitely a crap right now. But I think if we revisit this at the end of the year, at that point, it will absolutely be a fact that he will absolutely be in the top 10 and could potentially be argued to be in the top 5.
Wow. Okay. So Delray Robert Tree says crap as well. He is a Detroit Lions fan, so thank you for joining in, Delray. Hope you're having a grand old time. Buy that hype train in Detroit because it's going to be a great year for them. But I feel like in the NFL, Hoffy, like we are definitely prisoners of the moment, right? Like we get on a team very, very quickly. So when we look at the power rankings, right? You did the Major League Power Rankings for us a couple years ago, right? And basically, Major League, like it kind of is what it is. Like if you're a good team, you're going to stay at the top. In the NFL and the power rankings, you see a team stumble 1 week, and the media and the fans are like, the world is on fire, right? With that being said, there have been some quarterbacks right now that they've had one decent year. Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, right? They've had this one good year, and we're all on this hype train. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. They're so good. Like, at what point do we start to pump the brakes and be like, hey, prove it to me a little bit? Don't have one good year. I'm going to give you $65 million gazillion, and then you suck for the rest of your life. Like at what point in the NFL, Hoffy, do we stop being prisoners of the moment?
Yeah, I mean, we can give Jalen Hurts his credit, credit where credit is due. But look at the weapons he has around him. Put him on, a team that doesn't have that many weapons, and is he going to put up those same stats? If he was in Arizona this year, would he be able to put up those stats versus having, the two stud wide receivers that he has? He has, a running game. So yeah, I think the only quarterbacks that you can say right now that have proved it with their body of work are the top 3 right now in Mahomes, Burrow, and Allen. Obviously you got Aaron Rodgers, but I think he's in the decline there, really.
Right. Yeah, he 100% is. So let me ask you like a follow-up question to that. Let's have an open discussion about this. People in the chat as well. Let's have an open discussion about this. So when we think of like Hoffy, I'm going to take your words and I'm going to chew them up and spin them back at you here. When we say, oh, can this quarterback do this on this team? Could he do that on that? I mean, I hear it with Patrick Mahomes all the time. If Patrick Mahomes didn't have Travis Kelce or Andy Reid, he would just be a average quarterback, right? If you put him on the Baltimore Ravens, he wouldn't do this, this, and this, and this. Like, is that really a fair assessment? Just because, you know, there is a reason why said player got drafted to said team, because they are a good fit for that team. There is a reason why the Baltimore Ravens moved up into the first round to get Lamar Jackson, because they thought he would be a good fit for his team. There is a reason why Patrick Mahomes fell down in the draft to the Kansas City Chiefs, because nobody thought they would be a good fit for his team. So can we really
look at Russell Wilson?
Yeah, like, can we truly say that, oh, Hurts is only good because he is on the Eagles? Like, I don't think we can fairly say that. And like, I've been one of those people that have said that, like, hey, you put Hurts on any other team, he is below average. And can we legitimately say that anymore?
Yeah, I mean, you can't load the box when you have to defend A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, you know, which allows those running, you know, and they got to play man on them. So that allows their backs are turned to someone like Jalen Hurts, who's got legs. So he's able to beat you in the air. He's able to beat you on the ground.
True, but I don't know. I just like, I feel like we cannot like put a chicken on a different plot of land and like kind of guess what it's going to do. Like we just have to see what's in front of us, right? This chicken is eating those birds or those bugs, because I don't know. I tried to think of some good analogy like off the top of my head and totally failed. Why are we putting chickens on a different plot of grass? Chickens don't want grass. They want dirt to like, eat the bugs, right?
Can't believe he just went on a farm rampage.
I am from Kansas. That's all we know, baby. Green grass and dirt balls. Moving on. Speaking of the West, the Denver Broncos from the AFC West and the Russell Wilson and Sean Payton little experiment looked terrible week 1 of the preseason. Russell Wilson had a lot of massive hits on his body during that week 1 preseason game, held on to the ball too long, and took a lot of sacks as well. So factor crap, the Broncos are still the worst team in the AFC West, despite adding Sean Payton and all these hype train people to their roster. Guys, when we talk about overreactions, we have to talk about this as being one of those overreactions. Yes, I do buy a lot of stock into the NFL preseason. I like to see what Sean Payton's offense is going to look like. I like to see what Bill O'Brien offenses look like. I want to see how Russ is performing. I want to see how Justin Ross is performing, right? I want to see these things. But this is one of the stocks that we kind of have to sell. Like we have to sell, hey, this is still a preseason game. This is still week 1 of the preseason game of a totally brand new offense that Russell Wilson is running. But factor crap, they are the worst team in the West. This is a fact. The Denver Broncos, everything that I just said, you have to buy into. You have to look how bad their offensive line is, Hoffy. Their offensive line in a preseason game could not keep defensive linemen off of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was hanging on the ball for way too long, trying to diagnose the offense still, whatever, right? But the fact of the matter is that the Denver Broncos are just not there. The fact of the matter is that Russell Wilson is on a learning curve right now. Now, maybe next year they might be good. But people need to get off this Denver Broncos hype train right now. And I was one of them that kind of jumped on the hype train. I'm like, hey, you know what? I can see the hype. I can see why people are excited about Sean Payton. But looking at it this preseason game, I'm like, well, I can see why people were not excited about Sean Payton as well. This is a fact. The Denver Broncos are the worst team in the West. They will not compete for a playoffs position. They will not compete to be 500. And Russell Wilson might be benched by week 10 this year, Huffy.
I mean, Jerry Jeudy is one of the best route runners there is. They have Cortland Sutton. When he's healthy, he's, a proven, receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think Marvin Mims Jr., you expect big things from him. And they do have Sean Payton. But that being said, they're in the same division as the Chiefs. I think the Chargers will shit away some games because their coach is a moron when it comes to game management.
Facts.
But the one thing that Broncos have going for them is Josh McDaniels is in their division. So I'm going with fact.
So
They are
fact.
better than the Raiders.
Oh, so that would be a crap because I said fact
A
or crap.
crap,
Would they be
excuse me.
the worst? So they're better than the Raiders. Are they going to be better than the Chargers? Are you seeing a second place finish for the Denver Broncos?
I think I think it's very well possible. I think it comes down to the game management of the Chargers quarterback or Chargers coach, excuse me. And does he go for it on 4th and 10 and
on
does
their own
he
20. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, and run the ball too instead of even passing when you have, Justin Herbert there who can just sling it downfield. But yeah, I think that if the Chargers piss away 2 or 3 games like they have these past couple of years,
Right.
you might see the Broncos. If the Broncos can take 2 from the Raiders, they could take 2 from the Chargers. They might even, be able to make a wild card spot. But
So correct me if I'm wrong.
tough sledding.
Didn't Kellen Moore go to the Chargers? Like, that great offensive-minded guru down there in Dallas that put Zeke at center on the last play of the game. I'm pretty sure Kellen Moore signed with the Chargers as an offensive coordinator, and people are
I forgot
all
about that one. I think you're right.
and people are all crazy about it. Oh, Kellen Moore, our savior. Guys, Kellen Moore is not your savior. Calm the F down. I do like some Justin Herbert. I think he has a lot of upside. I do like, what the Chargers have with who's their receiver? What is his name? Michael. Damn it! Why is he slipping my mind? Look it up.
Keenan Allen.
Mike
Williams.
Mike Williams. There you go. Like I do like some of the nucleus that they have, but Kellen Moore is going to be just like how I said, Aaron Rodgers is going to make the Jets really good this year, but take like 5 steps back, like in the long term. Well, Kellen Moore is going to make the Chargers take 5 steps back now. Like, Kellen Moore is not the offensive guru that you guys think he is. There's a reason why he never got a head coaching job. He just not good. It is what it is. Speaking of good, somebody that is good, Hoffy, is my man, Derek Carr. The New Orleans Saints quarterback, Derek Carr, showed out in his Week 1 NFL preseason game debut versus the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the first time ever I feel like Derek Carr has beaten the Kansas City Chiefs, but we digress from that. It seemed to me that Derek Carr and the Saints are kind of a really good gel. They're kind of like a match made in heaven. They're like, I divorced my wife to come here, and everything is perfect. Everything is great. We are gelling. We're talking. We are communicating, and we are having the best sex life ever. So, fact or crap, the Saints hype is real. We should be buying everything about the New Orleans Saints. The division championship, a playoff berth, a playoff win, possible Super Bowl contenders. Jump on this Saints hype train, fact or crap. So, guys, I have always liked Derek Carr. I've always thought that he has kind of been like an underrated quarterback because when you look at his stats through the years with the Raiders, he seems like he improves each and every year. And every year, the Raiders ownership, the coaches wanted him out of town for whatever reason. They never fully bought in to Derek Carr for whatever reason, and I haven't figured out why. The fact of the matter is that Derek Carr is a really good quarterback. Derek Carr is going to be better than Trevor Lawrence. Derek Carr is going to be better than Tua. Derek Carr is going to be better than a lot of quarterbacks this year because he's going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And you have to realize this. He does have a number 1 receiver in Michael Thomas. He does have a great running back in Alvin Kamara. He does have a competent head coach. Also, another thing that is going for him this year is that the NFC South is really down still. Yes, they still have the Panthers that are going to do some work, right? They do have the Bucks. They do have the Falcons, all much improved teams, but they're still not quite there yet. So, yes, I am buying the New Orleans Saints hype right now. My man, the best nose guard in the game, Ruben Roy, my man, he's up there in Washington right now. The biggest Saints fan that I know. Man, I am buying a Saints jersey. I'm flying the black and gold flag here. Give me some New Orleans Saints, guys. This is 100% fact. Buy the Saints hype. Buy Derek Carr. Do whatever you want. Place those bets. Plus 130, as Hoffy says. Guys, the Saints hype is real. Buy into it. Hoffy, you are posting up these percentages to win the division. Saints are the front runner, as they should be. What are your thoughts of this? Are you buying the Saints hype?
Yeah, I absolutely buy them, and that's not because it's my aunt's favorite team. But I think they're the only team that comes out of that division with a plus record. I think 10-7, maybe they get 11-6, but I don't think any other team is going to have a winning record.
Arthur Brown says crap. He is not buying the Saints hype. Arthur, if you are not buying the Saints hype, what team is going to come out of the South? Is it going to be the Baker Mayfield-led Buccaneers? Is it going to be the Bryce Young-led Panthers? Calvin, not Calvin. What's the Falcons quarterback name? I'm forgetting his name.
Riddler,
yeah. Who is going to win? Del Rey says, I think they're good, but they are not proven. There is nobody proven in the NFC South. Literally,
their defense is proven.
Yeah, because
they've given Tom Brady fits since he's joined them.
Right. I believe the Saints are undefeated versus the Bucks the Saints are undefeated versus the Bucks in the regular season the last 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. It's just crazy, like how good Cam Jordan and that Saints defense actually is. Possibly.
Lattimore, Honey Badger. I mean,
yeah,
they got names on that end, and they got names on the offensive end. They got Kamara, they got Carr. Michael Thomas if he stays healthy.
Right. So
Jimmy Graham.
So Arthur Brown said, yeah, I forgot the addition of Jimmy Graham, Mr. 57-year-old tight end himself back at home. Arthur Brown says they will win the division, but not the Super Bowl. So
thank you, Captain Obvious.
I threw the Super Bowl out there because there are Saints shows that I listen to and kind of troll just like a little bit, just because I am a master troll. Like I love pissing people off, and it pisses my wife off, which is...
I was just going to say, your wife doesn't like it.
She was not happy last night. But people in the Saints land are saying, we have a Super Bowl caliber team. And it is true, any given Sunday, a team can get hot at the right time and make that playoff push, make that Super Bowl push, i.e. New York Giants. And what year did they beat your Patriots when they were undefeated? Hoffy, was that 2008?
We're not going to fucking go there.
Was that 2008 or 2009? I can't remember. But either way, yes.
It was the year 2007, but I think the Super Bowl was 2008 in that February.
Yeah, so, I mean, like the Giants, yes, they were like 10-6 going into the playoffs, but they got hot at the right time. They snuck into the playoffs, and then, it is all about clicking at the right time. And when we look at the NFC potential playoff teams, Hoffy, you have the Eagles, you have the 49ers, you have the Seahawks, you have the Cowboys, and then after that, who do you really have, right? Like I feel like the rest of it is pretty wide open. So if the Saints would happen to win their division, they are probably going to play a team obviously like a wild card team, so maybe the 49ers or the Seahawks, and I think they could probably beat both of those teams, and it all depends about the draw. And if they get hot, they could definitely represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, because I think the Eagles will have a Super Bowl hangover. The Cowboys always shit the bed, and then after that, is it the 49ers that can make it to the NFC Championship game but never make it to the big game? Like, I feel like it's kind of wide open. Do you think the Saints have a chance at a Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be tough to beat the 49ers, but they have the defense to give the 49ers fit. But like you said, if they win their division, they get a wild card game, whether that's the Seahawks, maybe that's the Cowboys. I think they definitely can win that game. and maybe they sneak out in the division game too, or the division round, and then they are in that NFC Championship, but I don't see them getting past that.
Yeah, so, I mean, basically, like my paintball team is, don't let us come play on Sunday because we're going to give you fits because we've been there, done that before. But, Hoffy, I do not have a toxic comment of the day because I am trying to steer away from that. But, fuck it. Fuck it.
That's a good boy.
No. Hoffy, there's a man in my Facebook. For some reason, he's like, oh, people calm down. It's just preseason, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, whoa. I did not want to attack the guy by any means, but I said, clearly you don't know football if you don't understand preseason football. And his immediate reaction was to call me dipshit and all this other stuff, and then he blocked me. So if you want to call me names, my man, and then block me so I can't respond, and then your sister comes to your defense in my chat, like in my comments, Christopher Lang, my man, you are a Baltimore Ravens fan. There's red flag number 2. Red flag number 3. Your profile picture is Lamar Jackson. So clearly, you are greatest thing since sliced freaking bread. But if you want to come at me and call me a dipshit and then block me and not take that smoke, man, and then have your sister come in, well, he's my brother. That's not what he meant. Then tell me what you meant, man. Unblock me. Stop being a little biatch. And let's have a civilized conversation. I will send you a link to the show, and you can come on here and tell me why preseason football does not matter. Hoffy, we've known each other for like a while now. You know my aneurysms and like all this other stuff, and there are things that kind of get underneath my skin. And when people want to name call like dipshit and all this other stuff, and are you on drugs? Tell me why I'm a dipshit. Just explain yourself. Maybe I am a dipshit. Maybe I know that. Maybe I am on cocaine. But prove it. Tell me why I'm a dipshit, Hoffy.
It's because you stutter.
That is true. My mom dropped me off. So I was surfing on a Food for Less shopping cart. I was like, hey, Mama, I'm cool. And she's like, boom, boy. And I cracked my head open. And she's like, get up. You're fine. And ever since then, it's been downhill, man. So I blame my mom. If she wouldn't have shoved me out of the cart when I was 3, we wouldn't be here today. I'm just saying what it is. But Christopher Lang, I'm calling you out, man. If you want to call me a dipshit because I don't know football, I don't know this. Man, shut up.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. Stock up and stock down, Hoffy. Stock up and stock down. It is time to talk a little stock up and stock down. And we are talking about the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New Orleans Saints. But most importantly, the Kansas City Chiefs side of the ball. The Red Kingdom, the reigning Super Bowl champions. But the pass rush of the Kansas City Chiefs looked horrible in week 1 versus the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr and the Saints pretty much had their way with the Kansas City Chiefs defense up and down the field. Most notably, Chris Jones was not in uniform for that game, and he has been holding out to get a deal done with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, with this being said, does this give Chris Jones' stock up, or is Chris Jones' stock going to be down? Chris Jones, over his 7-year career with the Kansas City Chiefs, has 243 tackles, 65 sacks, 2 interceptions from a defensive line, which is freaking amazing, with 1 pick 6. So when we talk about stock up or stock down, we have to think about the hindsight here, right? Hindsight is 2020 at the end of the day, and the hindsight is that the Kansas City Chiefs defense sucks without Chris Jones. However, the Kansas City Chiefs defense always sucks the first part of the season anyways. No matter who is on the field, you can have Frank Clark, Chris Jones, and Perjinkus, and Honey Badger, and Justin Reed. You can have all the greats on the Kansas City Chiefs roster, and for whatever reason, that defensive coordinator, what's his name? is it Steve Spagnuolo? No, that's not it. I can't even remember the defensive coordinator's name off top of my head. For whatever reason, he could not figure out the defensive scheme until like week 8. Week 8 and beyond, the Kansas City Chiefs defense is lights out, top 5, hands down. But this gives Chris Jones the stock way up. Way up. This tells me that the Kansas City Chiefs need Chris Jones right now. Now, his stats are not going to blow you away. 243 tackles over 7 years, 65 sacks. Those are not, oh my God, amazing. But they're not like, wow, that's not very good either. You have to realize defensive lineman is the most overlooked position in football. When you are a dominant defensive lineman, they simply just run the other way. But Chris Jones literally shuts down half of the field. Yes, he's playing nose guard, but from the 1 hole to the 7 hole, Chris Jones is locking that down. Chris Jones and Kansas City Chiefs need to figure out a deal right now. His stock is way up. The price tag is going way up. Chiefs better figure it out ASAP because Chiefs need him bad. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he takes two guys. Two guys got to block him. That's going to leave somebody else on one-on-one coverage. You got I'm not even going to try pronouncing your rookie's name, Felix.
Oh, yeah, the guy from the Kansas State University.
Yeah, that clown. You got B.J. Thompson. I think he needs to add a little bit of size to him, but, like you said, it always takes them a couple weeks to kind of figure out their chemistry, but I'm
right.
You got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I think you're going to be quite all right, regardless if you have a pass rush or not.
You see, I would concur with that, but this is not the Kansas City Chiefs from 2008, 18, when they're putting up 40+ points a game. Like they've kind of become like a game managing team almost per se. They're like, hey, we're going to score 20, 30 points real fast here, but then we're going to kind of let the defense settle in and kind of hold it down. Now, either way, Chris Jones is needed. Chris Jones is arguably one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. Better than that Quinn Williams dude from the Jets. Better than Aaron Donald. I said it. Right now, Chris Jones is better than Aaron Donald.
Now I know you're on crack.
Now, Aaron Donald might have, he's had a couple down seasons per his standards, I guess you can say. But you have to realize he's like 32 years old. Like, he's getting old. He's getting slow. But I think Chris Jones is better than Aaron Donald, to be honest. But it is what it is. Hoffy, any thoughts to that?
No, I mean, I think he's absolutely a necessary piece for that Chiefs squad to be successful. But, you mentioned that this isn't the Chiefs of the old. I think Sky Moore and Justin Ross are going to blow the cap off the roof in that.
Yeah.
Or the sky in that area.
And nice pun there. I like it. But let's not forget about Ricky James as well. I do like me some Ricky James. But guys, that is going to be it for the Man Hour today. Live, raw, uncut sports talk every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time, guys. And like I said, starting Monday, August 21st, 10 p.m. East Coast time, the after show is back. After show is back. Arthur Brown says, crap. Better than Aaron Donald. Hoffy, pull up those stats. Go to a stat muse. I think it's like statmuse.com. And let's compare Aaron Donald to Chris Jones. Let's see here. Where maybe it's not stat muse. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it's stat muse.
What do you want? Sacks?
Just type in the comparison thing. Type in Aaron Donald, Chris Jones. I could be on the wrong side. Maybe it's not stat muse. Aaron Donald versus Chris Jones. Yeah, it is stat muse. But they're not giving me the versus thing. Maybe it's the other. There's a site out there that you literally do versus. Like, that is what I've been doing with the Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson thing. I can't think of the website right now. But I will post it on Facebook today, Arthur. I will do a Aaron Donald versus Chris Jones.
Viral.
Yeah, we will post that. But any closing thoughts, Hoffy, before we head out? Nobody cares what you say,
I'm just curious
Hoffy.
to find out how much trouble you're in.
There's a reason why I'm outside. Man Hour Nation, rise up.